Welcome back, everybody, here to our Tampa Bay Rays out of the park 27 long-term save. And we have made it to May 1st, and I have a few housekeeping items that I want to talk about. First of all, if you have had like the naturally evolving league on and you leave it checked to expansion or you choose to do an expansion yourself, a lot of the times the schedule gets generated where it's like there's no off days. Like you're going to play a lot of baseball. Like we didn't have an off day here in the 7 games we played in March, 2 off days in April, 3 off days in May, in June 2 off days. July you get the All-Star break and then 1 other off day. August 2 off days, and then September you get 2 off days, and then the season wraps up here on September 19th, where it usually wraps up pretty much at the end of the month. Sometimes it leaks into October. So with that, I made 2 changes to just kind of the settings and what I'm playing with. I turned short injury frequency on low just to deal with, just to kind of mitigate a lot of the issues of playing every single day. I wanted to, I'm fine with the long injuries. I feel like that's baseball is getting hurt. That's like half the battle. But the short-term injuries can be really, I don't know. I feel like they can be correlated back to just them playing a ton. So I turned that down. And then with the season wrapping up much earlier and wrapping up here on September 19th instead of typically literally like September 30th, I also made one change to, I wonder where it is. I don't even know where this would be. Here it is. I made the change to put the roster expansion date to go to August 19th. And then I made that expanded roster size to 30 players. I think Old School Sports does 30 players, and he has the normal active roster size. I don't know why I haven't been doing 30. It just looks better, the even number. But I changed it to exactly 1 month before the season concludes. When it's next year, if the schedule's different and it's like, oh, we conclude on the 17th, then I'll make it the 17th. Just want to have full transparency on what that's going to look like with the season going by quicker because we're playing like every day. But let's jump into the team. First of all, we're 25-10. We started like 18-2, like some crazy. We started 6-1 right here. And then we're 9-2, and then look at this. So 9-2, 10-2, 11-2, 12-2, 13-2, 14-2, 15-2, 16-2, 17-2 to start the season. And then we went, 8-8 after that. Pretty good start. Pretty ridiculous. We were right at our Pythagorean 19-9 in April. Can't be upset. Once again, one of, if not the best pitching staff in all of baseball. Least runs allowed, best bullpen, best starters ERA, a sub-3 ERA as a team, best defense. You guys know how we're building these teams. This shouldn't come as a surprise. And then the offense has really gotten things going. We're fourth, top 5 in a lot of categories. We strike out a ton, but everything else top 5. We're getting extra base hits. We're scoring runs. We're getting on base, which was a big thing that we wanted to address this year. We're doing great. The issue is how somehow the Marlins have been right here with us. When we were 18-2, we had a half a game lead on the division, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So if you guys want to take a first look at these kind of standings, what this new league is looking like, first of all, we're right in the thick of it here with the Miami Marlins, trying to get that first round bye, and the Raleigh Oaks are hanging around. They're 20-15. They're hitting really well. José Gonzalez hasn't gotten hurt. He's got the wrecked moniker to him, but he's 1.1ing, put up 3 WAR. So they're getting a legacy season out of José. Roberto Garza, who they got, just won Rookie of the Month, I think. I'll look at the awards, but he's been ridiculous for them. So watch out for the Raleigh Oaks, folks. They're coming. They've officially arrived here in the major leagues, and they are currently sitting with a playoff spot 1 month into the year. But let's talk about our team for a moment. We do have, I don't know if the causation is correlated to all the games being played, but we do have quite a few injuries to report upon. First of all, Chad Tetzloff, very early into the season, literally got one game in where he homered. I'm going to change this back to games. I have it on splits because I play a different series where I just manage every game. So ignore that. But Tetzloff literally started one game and got hurt. He's been down in AAA for 7 games. He's about to get called back up here once I get done giving you guys the recap. So we haven't seen Chad Tetzloff at all for the regular season so far. We obviously know Milby was out to start the year. Malachi Washington got placed on the IL. He had back stiffness that shut him down for a week, one of those nagging ones. Through 30 games, he was awesome. 136 WRC plus, one of the highest hard hit rates in all of the sport. Walking a ton, which is nice. I feel like he doesn't walk that much, but I guess maybe I'm just completely wrong when I say that. But no, Malachi Washington off to a good start. He's missed the last week. Belliard we knew was out. Frazier we knew was out. Mark Korab got a hip strain. He's shut down he got hurt back on 420. So what were you getting into, Mark? But no, hip strain shut him down for about a month. He was electric. He filled in for Tetzloff, and he was hitting 315, drove in 25 runs already. Just tearing the cover off the ball, 171 WRC plus. So we're going to have to find room for him once he gets back with I don't know where he plays, but he's got to play. He's been lights out. And then David Breaux, who was like kind of our long reliever, was doing good in that role, like really good, sub-2 ERA. Got shoulder tendonitis, so his season has also been cut short a little bit. He'll miss the next 6 weeks. So let's take a look at the roster that's kind of limped our way to a 25-10 record. If we look at the pitching staff right now, Matt Lazendorfer, who we claimed off waivers, not doing great, allowing a ton of home runs, so don't love that. And then Braden Fisher, another one of the relievers we've had for quite some time. Just kind of, I don't know. His fit minus has been really good the last 4 years with us, but right now it's not looking great. But he hasn't allowed a run through 9 1/3, so somehow hasn't allowed a run with a damn near 2 WHIP, which is insane. But hopefully he'll figure it out, tone down the walks. He's just getting pretty much unbelievably lucky right now. So hopefully he can kind of reel it in. Aaron Sheet, been a bouncy start. He's striking out a ton, not walking, but he's kind of given up the long ball, which was kind of out of the blue a little bit. He hasn't had a problem with that just in his career. So hopefully that can kind of come back down to earth and he can kind of go put up another legacy season. I mean, 15 K per 9. If he keeps that going, starts limiting those homers, then watch out. So we're not too worried about him. The fact that he has a 2.2 or 2.0 home run per 9 and his fit minus is still at 89 is kind of ridiculous. That just goes to show how good he is, just beside the main issue right now. Adrian Morihone has been really solid. Not as unbelievable as last year with his per 9s, but 2.7 ERA is one of the main lefties, making $4 million. We'll always appreciate that. Earl Zuleta was a guy that we claimed off of waivers. We just got him, just claimed him off waivers. He's pitched 2 innings for us, has been good. He was good for Montreal. It just maybe not had room for him, or I don't know what the case was. But we will gladly take him, and he is now a part of the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen, especially with our injuries. And then Brandon Livingston has been lights out for us. 17 games, 0.5 ERA. Really good per 9s here. 59 fit minus, damn near an 800 ERA plus. So Brandon Livingston's doing pretty well. And once again, if you guys are curious, the unbelievably great contract for him. So we feel good about that. And then Luis Covarrubias, kind of continuing to be really solid. I know last year he didn't really play much and was not very good. But the year before he was really good, and now he's up again, and he's doing solid. So things we like to see. Feels like all these guys are from New Jersey. Livingston and Covarrubias are from Jersey, and then we got a couple. You got a Haitian and a Cuban. I don't know. I forgot to talk about Capelli, though. But Capelli also doing solid. Once again, having a bit of a walk issue. But other than that, everything's looking really nice for him. His movement moved up, so his fastball is up to like 98 to 100, which is fast. So he's looking great. Yeah, that's what the bullpen's looking like. We look at the starters. Hunter Green, off to a really solid start. Having a bit of a home run scare right now, but I'm not worried about it. He's going to be just fine. 3 walk per nine, that's fine. 9K per nine, we like that. I think he's going to be just fine. He just has to limit some of the long balls. That's about it. And then Takumi Umeda has been absolutely lights out. He had a few rocky starts in the last few outings, but before that he was a full-on like Cy Young candidate. Expected ERA is at 2.12. Right now it's at 2.89. Unbelievable. The per nine's look incredible. 11K per nine, just sub 2 walks per nine. Lights out for Umeda. On pace for a 6.4 season. He's the man. Caden Walker's kind of had a bumpy start to the year, 7 starts. Kind of also giving up the home run at a higher rate than we're used to seeing for him. ERA's in a good spot. The underlying numbers are in a solid spot, but just kind of another one of the guys on our pitching staff giving up more homers than you like. But once again, it's been 1 month. I'm not too worried about Walker. Victor Fernandez has been a pleasant surprise. We were excited to get him. We know, I don't know if you guys had the thought of like, oh, well, his last 2 years were kind of like below league average. He really only had those 13 starts for Vegas back in 2033. So it's interesting to kind of invest a 50 potential prospect to go and get him. And I hear that, but we really liked his profile. I like the high control, high home runs allowed. We play good defense that I'm not too worried about him not having the best stuff. And he's come over and he's been really good. You know, a sub-3 ERA, 2.34, sub-1 whip, which was really nice to see. Again, 1.1 homers, a little more than you'd like, but it's fine when you have a sub-2 walk per nine. And we're not expecting him to strike out everybody. I don't really care if he does or doesn't. As long as he's, this is a perfectly fine stat line. We are A-okay with the way Victor Fernandez has been pitching, making the league minimum. Lot to like about the way he's played. And then Justin Steele, kind of the vet of the staff, just eating innings for us. He's coming here, eating innings. He's going to be the number 5 throughout the season, unless we make a trade later on. But he doesn't have his stuff anymore. It's 35 stuff, 4K per nine. We're relying on the defense, relying on him to get outs. He has an expected ERA of 2.21, so really he's actually been fairly unlucky, even though the BABIP's pretty low. I don't really get how you get an expected ERA of a 2.21 based off the underlying numbers, the numbers we have here. I guess I don't know much about the expected ERA, but I'm going to trust that and just say, you know what, he's getting gypped a little bit. So Justin Steele kind of been whatever. In terms of the lineup, Roberto Montoya, if we just go 1 through 9, started off slow, but he's bounced back, hitting 280, which is what we like. He hit 292 in his big season. He's doing just fine. We're not worried about him. He's the man. Yeah, on pace for a 4.2 WAR season. Ramon Martinez had a bit of an up and down start, but now he's really kind of found his footing. I know that the walk rate, we would expect it to be higher with his elite eye and just avoid K in general. So I expect that to kind of continue to rise. I expect him to get on base at a way higher clip than he is right now. But he's still hovering around an 800 OPS, puts him at a 4.5 WAR pace. Not worried about that at all. That's very good. One thing I am a little worried about, Dylan Scarcella has not been that great. His walk rate and K rate's in a good spot. But we just expect a little more. Hopefully it's just a bad month. We gave up the farm to go get him. So we would like him to be playing like a true number 3 in your lineup. So hopefully it's just a poor month, but we'll see. Mike Plummer's continued to just rake. He was solid last year. I think he was really good in the postseason, wasn't he? Yeah, 192 WRC plus in the postseason last year. Mike Plummer continuing to hit 134 WRC plus. he's the man. He's just the man. If we take a look at like this really isn't bad money for Mike Plummer. Like, I mean, we'd be able to work it down, and it wouldn't be like an 8-year deal. It would be something like this. So might be something we explore because he's been kind of a core piece to this team for a few years now. Even back when he was a catcher, the backup catcher, what the hell were we doing there? Why didn't we have this guy just play in the outfield? I don't know. We could have Super Saiyan this, but we messed it up a little bit. Not too worried though. Mike Plummer is the man, having a great year. But our best player so far this season definitely has been Ramon Casillas. You take a look, he has 35 RBIs, on pace for 162, 12 homers, on pace for 56, slugging a massive 637, getting on base a ton. He's one-dotting with his OPS at 164 WRC+. Just a stud. Ramon Casillas, the big bopper. Expected slugging's right there up at the top. He is number one in baseball in barrel rate, which is 22%. Just a dog. If we take a look at what a long-term extension will cost, oh boy. So yeah, that's what that looks like. I don't want to bring in a dampener right as I'm talking about how great he's been for our reigning Rookie of the Year. But Ramon Casillas, an absolute dog. Hopefully he can keep this going, put up a historic season. You know, I'm just saying the Tampa Bay Rays have never had an MVP. How sick would it be if we finally got one? I can't believe I forgot that they had never had an MVP. And then I was sitting here and I'm like, did we get an MVP? No, we haven't. Trey Abel's got third in voting once. I think one of our pitchers came close, just in this save in general. But how sick would that be if we got an MVP? But anyway, Palacio has been DHing since both Tetzloff and what's the other guy? And Korab got hurt. So Palacio, once again, every time he fills in, he does great. Did great in the postseason. Walks a ton, just hits. So happy with the way he's played. And then Trey Abel having a bit of a bounce back year, exactly 100 WRC plus. Things we like to see. Hopefully he can kind of keep extending that, keep it going, because that would make me quite happy. I'm going to make him steal more. Yeah, that would be dope. And then Austin Wells doing what we asked of him, playing elite defense, hitting decently enough. 74 WRC plus is fine. I'm okay with that. You do that. Chris Dayton's in the lineup right now. He's playing versus lefties, DHing. He was one of the guys we called up. Not been doing too hot, but he was raking at Durham last year, so gave him the opportunity. Gil Golden's on the bench, not doing anything. J.J. Weatherholt's played one game. Leonardo Pineda just here for his glove in the outfield. And then Matt Harris up 3 games, just has gotten 3 at-bats. So that's what we're looking like here at the end of the first season. I'm going to take a quick look at the standings, and then we'll move a little bit quicker along as we try to get to the MLB draft. And the draft class this year, I want to point out, does look better. It does look better. I don't know if it's just maybe it just looks good for the first round, but hopefully it's a better class than they have been. But around the league here in the AL Metro Division, out of all these teams that are here, what was the last team you thought that would be leading this division after a month? The Pittsburgh Pirates. And here they are. I don't know how they're doing it. They have the first FIP in baseball, second best starters in the American League. You know, Kyrie Almonte, 3 elite pitches. Jesus Travieso, who's in my other save, I think his nickname was Little Brazil. Or there was someone, was that in this save where someone was Little Brazil? Oh my God, I'm trying to figure out if that was a real thing or not. I don't know. There was someone nicknamed Little Brazil in one of my saves, and I was just like, that is hysterical. But the Pirates leading the Metro, the Yankees right there, the Red Sox right there, the Phillies right there, the Expos right there. So both expansion teams have winning records. Miguel Cime Jr. has been really solid for them, walking a ton of guys, but he can do what he wants. He's like the star of the Expos. The Mets are right here. The Orioles really are right here. Shockingly, the Nationals are like out of it. Like I feel like this is the team that you kind of watch out for at the start of each season. You know, take a look at their history, back-to-back playoff berths for the last 5 years. They're always a threat, It's interesting to see them not be to start the year. And then in the AL Pacific Division, we see the Dodgers tied with us and the Marlins for the best record in all of baseball. We know their pitching's elite. We know they have Pablo Ruiz. They still have Samuel Munoz, Josue De Paula, Marcelo Meyer, Eduardo Quintero, Starlin Caba they signed as well, like an off-season ago. They got dudes on dudes here. Their starting rotation is just disgusting. So definitely a team to really, really watch out for. They have this guy coming up now. Well, I mean, we're picking in the same ballpark as them. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Dodgers look to be great. The Diamondbacks are competing, which is fun. The Giants are here. The A's are here. Yeah, that's fun. And then everyone's favorite division, the NL Great Lakes. The Reds currently lead it, 22-13. A little surprised the Brewers aren't here. The Brewers seem to always be the regular season champs. But then the Tigers right there, Blue Jays right there, Cubs right there. Twins kind of in it, but then the Guardians and White Sox are terrible. And then to our NL Southern Division, it's kind of a big three right now with us and the Marlins really headlining that. But then the Raleigh Oaks are right here, 20 wins, one of 3, 4, 5, 6 teams there. So 12 go to the playoffs. So if you're one of the top 6 right now, that's a good look. So it feels like it's going to be a three-headed monster. Feels like that's a 3-man race right now. See if that continues. But the Braves are right here. The Astros are hanging around. The rest, I mean, the Royals I expected to be much better. They're not pitching well, which is a surprise. Yeah, I don't know. In terms of the AL, Francisco Perez is just doing it all. Go figure. Unbelievable baseball player. Pitching staff, Jesus Travieso, big reason why the Pirates are balling out. This is an unbelievable 7 starts. Just insane. Jim Steele for Washington, not a name I'm familiar with. Maybe I got to start taking more gambles on the 3-pitch guys. I mean, we see what Christopher Sanchez is doing in real life. Former Ray twice in our series, technically, because he was obviously traded for Curtis Mead in real life, which is, what are we doing there? Travieso been insane. Dash Albus is good, like the high home runs allowed guy who's a former Oriole. I don't even know if you guys remember him, but he's always on the trade block like every year, and now he's insane for the Dodgers because it's the Dodgers. But in the NL, Josue Gonzalez is insane. Victor Hurtado has 17 homers already. That puts him in a 79 homer pace. Casillas right behind him. Josue, just insane start for Josue Gonzalez. Harbison and Wood here. Like I mentioned, Raleigh, big reason why they're winning. Top 3 ERAs. Braden Harris for Raleigh also. Just, I mean, this guy's working for you. I don't know. I got to start taking more gambles on the 3-pitch guys, I guess. But Victor Fernandez here for ERA. Umeda for wins and strikeouts. He's leading the league. Hunter Green right here puts Umeda top 3 wins above replacement. Bit of a lengthy recap here for the first month. We'll try to go a bit quicker as we kind of just claw our way into June and July. So we'll get into it. All right, everybody. We aren't quite to June 1st, but I do have an update. We're rolling. We are rolling. We might be the best team in all of baseball. We currently do have the best record. You see us filling up the league leader categories. Umeda, Casillas has been unbelievable. Highest OPS in all of baseball, or in all of the National League. But what I stopped right here to show you guys is Takuma Umeda just threw a perfect game. I'm not trolling. Against our former team that we had control of in our last save with the Minnesota Twins. Takuma Umeda, perfect game, 9 innings, 13 strikeouts, faced the minimum. Best pitching performance ever? Are you kidding me, Takuma? This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. No hit or perfect game. That's a 14 inning, or that's at least what? That's 21 inning scoreless streak, at least earned run streak. I know it's not what Christopher Sanchez is doing, but holy shit. Perfect game, Takuma Umeda. We are rolling, folks. We are rolling. All right, everybody. We are officially to June 1st, and we are dominating right now. We are 43-20. we're the best team in baseball. There isn't really a way around it. 41-22 Pythagorean, another excellent month where we went 18-10. We're just good. One of the best offenses, best batting average, best on base, highest WAR, second WOBA, second runs scored, first in extra base hits, eighth in homers. But we knew we were kind of rebranding this offense to get on base more, and we've done just that. And then the pitching staff has been absolutely nails. 3.07 team ERA. Are you joking? Once again, the bullpen best in baseball. First in pretty much every category that matters over here. First in defense as well. First in runs allowed. It's going swimmingly, everybody. If we take a look at that pitching staff, not much has changed. Takumi Umeda is in the midst of pretty good year. I don't want to say anything other than that. The kid's unbelievable. We claimed a guy named Aaron Howard. We sent the Lasendorfer down. He cleared waivers, so he's down in our minor league system. Aaron Howard, Rocky, so that's cool. Solid so far. One of the guys in our bullpen. We need him to eat innings. What's not good is Morihone and Fisher, so we'll probably, with the deadline kind of starting to loom a little bit, we'll definitely look into getting another reliever and another starting pitcher probably. We need someone to be the 3 to Green and Umeda. I understand Green hasn't been great, but he did just give us an 8-inning no-run, 6 strikeout performance. Still fine with I still believe in him. But obviously for Justin Steele or Caden Wachter, who's been struggling, I don't know. I want to get another starter just so we have that other option, assuming we can get to the postseason. Take a look at, Avogadro is not ready. So, he's pitching well at AAA. It's just I'm not bringing a 35 control starter up. So it's not like we have it in-house right now. So we'll look into that, but that's kind of a next episode thing. In terms of the lineup, Ramon Martinez, everybody, one of our big free agent signings. Unbelievable month here. He just won Rookie of the Month in May. Hit 371, one dotted, 193 at WRC plus. I said he's going to start walking more, and he has done just that. He's hitting. He's getting on base, hitting 318, 155 WRC plus. Unbelievable stuff. Mark Korab's in the lineup again, and he's raking. He's in the lineup mainly because Scarcella, where is he? Here we go. Had a herniated disc, so he's out. Got hurt just, on the 25th of May. So not ideal. Once again, dealing with all these injuries, and yet we're 43-20. I forgot to mention Chad Tetzloff also got hurt again, so he played 7 more games. Again, hitting really well, but just can't stay on the field right now. He's hurt again. His power went up, so his overall's gone up, which is a good look. But we would like him to play. Roberto Montoya had a big month as well. He kind of cooled off towards the back end of the month, but he had a really, really nice May. 298 batting average, 127 WRC plus. Things you like to see. Brady Marietta's tearing the cover off the ball as well. He's going to get more playing time. Everyone's hitting. Everyone's pitching. Things are looking really nice. Quick look around the league. Once again, we're leading. Casillas up here. Kaporn hitting. Shocking. Casillas still doing great. Victor Rodriguez, feel like I've talked about him at some point, but he's having a career year. Career high homers is 14, and he's at 12 already this season. That's kind of bizarre. He's on a 9 WAR pace. He's got 3.7 WAR accumulated already. Speaking of WAR, Takumi Umeda leading by a pretty wide margin over here for pitcher WAR, most strikeouts, best ERA. He's the man. He is the man. The Red Sox are now leading this Metro division. That is just really competitive. So is our division, though, to be frank. The Oaks have fallen off a little bit, but the Astros are here. The Braves have a winning record. The Cardinals have a winning record. The Rangers have just completely have new life. They went 20-8 in May. They were in last place or second to last place, and now they're in the midst of this division. So that's interesting. The Marlins are still hot on our heels. So there's a lot, but we're balling. We're balling out. That's what we're That's what we care about. If we can just get healthy and continue to ball out, then it might be dangerous for the rest of the league. We'll get through June. We'll get to July. We'll be able to do the All-Star break and the draft all at once because it's bumped up because of how quickly we're going through games. So we'll get a look at it, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once we get to July. All right, everybody, on the eve of July, we are about to embark on the month of July. I don't know what I was trying to set up there, but the team's unbelievable, 61-28. We'll give you a full recap in a moment, but we are ready to pull the trigger. We're making a trade. We're putting all our chips in the middle. We're going all in this season. One of the moves to do that, we'll be bringing in Andres Munoz. We'll have 2 players on the roster who are 3-time Reliever of the Year award winners. He won it for the Yankees a season ago. Traded him to the Twins preseason. The Twins are not in contention. They're 37-52. They're selling off. So they're willing to send him away to our Tampa Bay Rays. They're maintaining all of the money. And all we have to do is send Brad Anders back over, who's a 35 overall player, doing great at Double-A. But they just want him off the roster. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. And you know what? I'm not gonna yell at him for it. We're gonna pull the trigger. Andres Munoz, a pre-July trade, getting pulled off here. All right, everybody. If you take a look, we are here July 10th. We have made it to the All-Star break here with our Tampa Bay Rays, and we've been unbelievable. We are a quite good baseball team. We have the best record in all baseball. We are 69-30, 6 games ahead of the Miami Marlins in the Southern Division. Few things that I want to touch on of a bit of a negative note before we dive into everything that is holy and great. Terrence Milby suffered a setback in his torn meniscus. It's almost as if he tore it again. He was like 2-3 weeks away from coming back, and then the setback, so his season is over, done for 5 months. Not good. And then Brandon Livingston had elbow inflammation, which shut him down at the beginning of June, almost exactly 1 month ago. It's like a 2-month injury, so 6 weeks, maybe a little longer than 2 months then, obviously. So we'll get him back for the end of the year, but that'll end his season, derail it at least. Not ideal, but what has been ideal is everything else. We are, like I mentioned, 69-30. Pythag puts us just 3 games below that, which is like perfectly fine. 6-2, or we went 20-8 in June, 6-2 so far in July. First in a lot of categories here with our offense. Most runs scored and the least runs allowed. I mean, that's as good as you can do. First in WAR, first in OPS, first in on-base, first in batting average, first in extra base hits, 5th in homers, which is, I think, an improvement. 2nd in walks, that's really where we wanted to get better. Pitching side, first in defense, just in everything defensively. First in opponent's average, first in hits allowed, first in runs allowed, best bullpen ERA, best starters ERA. It's everything. The team is unbelievable. We take a look. Let's look at the lineup 1 through 9 here. Roberto Montoya has been lights out, an absolute stud, on pace to match and maybe even improve upon his excellent 2034 campaign. He has been an absolute dude. He's playing excellent defense at shortstop. He's the man. He's our leadoff guy, and a damn good one. On pace for 49 doubles, which is just insane. He's hitting more doubles than triples. Who cares as long as he's on base? What a stud. Ramon Martinez might have the Rookie of the Year on lock as a 30-year-old. He has been awesome. Big tuna. Shout out Jim Halpert. Balling out. 801 OPS, 134 WRC+. Walking a ton. Getting on base for our big boppers in the middle of the lineup. In Mike Plummer, who has had an excellent second half of the year. Second half of the first half, I should say. June has been awesome for him, or was awesome, a 176 WRC+, put a 1.3 WAR last month, and then 180 WRC+ through 8 games in July. Mike Plummer has been an absolute stud in the heart of our order. And then after that, Ramon Casillas has just continued to press on the gas. 26 home runs, on pace for a 40-30 season, a 133 WRC plus. Not to the heights it was earlier on, but he's a big bopper. His power has reached 80-80 now. We just got the scouting update on that. So an absolute freak who wants to get paid. Probably deserves the paycheck. A true big bopper in the middle of our lineup. Exactly the yin to the top two guys is yang. And then Malachi Washington is in the midst of a career season. In the offseason, I flirted with the idea of trading Malachi Washington. We had an offer from the Reds that I was really interested in at some point, which would have sent us, if we take a look here, which would have sent us Mark Botsford, who I've talked about a few times, who's in the midst of a not good season, as well as Javorsky Lane Jr., who's also in the midst of a bad season. And I almost pulled the trigger. I liked the value we were getting back, and I just went, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't send Malachi away. And he has absolutely rewarded us. He is having a career year, 840 OPS, 132 WRC plus. You look at his percentile rankings, and I'm drooling in awe of it. It is unbelievable stuff here for the 28-year-old. 3.3 WAR, already eclipsed what he put up in 132 games a season ago. He's the man. Malachi Washington, unbelievable. Chad Tetzloff just came back from his injury. Through 11 games this year, he's been excellent, so hopefully he can stay healthy the rest of the way, and he can be an absolute dog in this lineup. This lineup is unbelievable, guys. Dylan Scarcella, we moved him down in the order in the last 2 weeks. He's been unbelievable. We look at his July, 409 batting average, 4 homers, 13 ribbies already, a 265 WRC plus. So if he can keep that going, then, he's a guy that we gave up a shit ton of players for. Nieto, Prieto, I didn't realize they rhymed. Nick Bennett, who, no way he's working, right? Wow, 0.8 WAR, 6 walks per 9. That's insane that they're putting this together. Good for them. Good for them. But we gave up a lot for him. Obviously, Chalowski being the big one, but they didn't keep him. So it's really just 3 prospects at this rate. Going on a tangent, but he's finally putting it all together. We're really happy with how he's looking. Yeah, he's figuring it out. These percentile rankings are looking very nice. A little different than a year ago. He's walking more, getting on base. He's figuring it out here in July. We're happy with that. Then Trey Abel, 101 WRC plus. So he's quietly having a bit of a bounce back season. Hopefully he can kind of ramp things up a little bit, keep things going. Obviously, it's the last year of his contract, so we would like him to perform, so maybe we can talk about an extension. And then Austin Wells has been really solid. Look at that. We mentioned just come here, play great defense, 94 WRC plus. So that's all we wanted. That is literally all we wanted him to do. And he's doing it. With him is Murrieta, who's got a 113 WRC plus, playing a similar level of defense. Everything is working in the lineup. Everything is working. We have Palacio off the bench, the main guy. He's gotten 64 games on pace for 100 started, 117 WRC plus. Another guy who gets on base, hits for contact. Mark Korab's excellent off the bench. He clubbed 11 homers, can be an outfield backup, pinch hit guy. I should make sure that he is the pinch hit guy, just because I always forget to set this stuff over here. Just a stud. Go Golden's kind of like the only weak link. He's a 4th outfielder, but he's got this spark plug that I kind of like, and I don't really want to send down. I don't want to mess with the rhythm. Chris Dayton's been up. He's been good. Unbelievable stuff. Injuries-wise, we only have 3 guys hurt right now. Livingston will be back in 6 weeks, which is nice. If we take a look at the pitching staff now, it's a little shaky in a few parts, but I feel like I'm just being a little too negative for some reason. Justin Steele has been an innings eater. We're going to trade for a starting pitcher. No doubt about it. We're trading for a starting pitcher. Adrian Morejon is in the midst of a bad, really, really not good year. We'll likely maybe go and get another reliever as well, or just try to find a placeholder for him until Livingston's back. I don't really know what the plan is yet. Hunter Green has still kind of had an up and down year. I don't know what to make of it, because he was unbelievable a season ago. The only difference is he's allowing a little more homers, not striking out as many. Could just be an age thing. Maybe he's getting older. Maybe we shouldn't have signed the old vet. Whatever. It's fine. It's a 2-year deal anyway. It's kind of like the Pete Alonso. Maybe he'll find it. Maybe he won't. I don't regret it. Covarrubias has been fine. I don't love the way he's played. I want to get another reliever and another starter. I want to literally go all in this season. We're going to give up whatever we need to give up to make it this year the year. We're not giving up Carlos Perez. I want to make that completely known. He is not being touched. He's not going anywhere. If I just go to all players here, Aguadeo has been brought up in trade conversations that I've been searching for, and I think this one would make sense to me. First base prospect who's 17 years old. We want to get better. There's definitely people I'm willing to trade on this list to go and supersize our team. So just be ready for that next episode. I know I'm kind of burying the lead a little bit. Caden Walker's really had a fine season, 3.14 ERA. The per-9s are in a good spot. Not worried about him. He's been solid. Belliard in the bullpen, struggling with the home runs a little bit, but a sub-2 ERA. Again, his season's just kind of kick-starting. Victor Hernandez I've been really happy with, to be honest. Good per-9s, not really walking people. On pace for a 3-WAR campaign. No problem with that. David Bro, who's been back up for after what was his injury? He had shoulder tendonitis with 2 setbacks. So, yeah, but I understand he's a 40-40 guy, and you're like, all right, like, what are we doing? Your team almost has 70 wins, and you're putting this guy on the roster. He has a 2.16 ERA. He's a perfect innings eater guy. The per-9s are in a good spot. The FIP- is in a good spot. A lot to like with David Bro. Andres Munoz has been whatever. He's only gotten in one game, so like I can't really be like hoorah or talk negative about him. So Munoz is here. Capelli's been really solid. His walks per 9, I think we mentioned the last time I gave an update, or the first big update of the year, that his walk per 9s was at like 5, I think. I'm trying to rack my brain and remember it. I'm sure it'll pop up here. Yeah. 5 or 6 walk per 9, which isn't good. He's toned that down to a 3.7. Really in the sweet spot. He's been really solid. And then we take a look at Aaron Howard, who we claimed off waivers, has that elite curveball. Doesn't walk anybody. He's been really solid for us. A little more homers than you like, but an 85 FIP-, 2.7 ERA for a guy we got off of waivers. He's a high leader, high work ethic, which apparently he's a prankster. You're a goofball, Aaron, from Hales Corners, Wisconsin. So shout out that. He went to Michigan. I don't know what we're doing there. Aaron Sheet, just a dog. He's probably going to win another reliever of the year. He might go win his 4th. His contract jumps to 12.5 next year, and we are unbelievably happy to pay that. He is just the man. He might be one of the better relievers we see come out for a while. He's just uber consistent, 12.6 K per 9, a career high for him so far. And he's got the team around him to go and help us make a big push, make a big run this year. Aaron Sheet's been a dog. And then the ace of aces, maybe the best starter in all of baseball through, what has it been? Oh my God, 99 games. There we go. I can do math. Don't worry about me. Takumi Umeda has been unfreaking believable. 4.3 WAR accumulated, the best run value in all baseball, the best fastball in all baseball. He's the man. He is here. This is an unbelievable season. 21 starts, 0.5 home runs allowed, 2 walk per 9, 10.4 K per 9, a 1.71 ERA, a 60 FIP-. I know I talk about how much I love pitching in this game, and I love like putting together good pitching seasons. I'm a big stats guy, and to see one of our starters have stats like this just gets me going. I love it. It is incredible. It makes my heart flutter. It's so much dopamine being released when you see a guy do this for your pitching staff. So we're quite happy with the way that looks. Quite happy with the way the team looks. Let's look around the league, and then we'll hop into the first-year player draft. In the American League Metro Division, the Red Sox, our former foe, leading that as of right now with the Yankees and Phillies and Pirates all hanging around. The Nats are kind of coming back a little bit. But again, This is the realignment. You're going to need to be good to make the postseason. It isn't, you're kind of limp your way to the playoffs. You go 48-48, you're 82 and whatever the math is, 78 or whatever, 82 and 79. Is that what it is? 82 and 80. What am I doing here? I'm good at math. I'm just on the spot. 82 and 80. You're not making the playoffs doing that anymore. So the Pirates 52 and 47. They're right here. They're fighting for it. The Nats are outside with this record. I like that. I'm happy with that. But that's what the Metro is looking like. In the Pacific, it's the Dodgers division to lose. They are maybe the second best team in baseball, the best team in the American League. The Diamondbacks are on their tail a little bit. The Giants are hanging around. But no one else really giving them a fight. The Athletics are kind of here. They're league leaders over here, though. Angelo Morales, we've talked about for the A's. He's been excellent. Brandon Black, not a guy I'm familiar with here. It was a first-round pick from Jersey for the Pirates. He's been tearing the cover off the ball, it seems, this year, really having a coming-out party. Not the best WRC+, but he hits homers, so that's kind of what he's good for. Scott Sims, the former batting title winner, thought he'd win MVP back in 2034. He's back to doing his stuff, hitting for average. Jordan Sanchez, an Angel here, one of the top prospects, 84th in baseball, hitting .322, has a good chance to go win the American League Rookie of the Year. Francisco Perez, no surprise, one dotting, tearing the cover off the ball, not hitting as many home runs, so take that, buddy. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. He's insane. He's going to get paid. They haven't extended him yet, so they're playing with fire a little bit, but he's a franchise legend. Connor Griffin has just been a dude. I feel bad that the Pirates have never been really good for him because he has put together just an absolute surefire Hall of Fame career through age 30. I know he hasn't won MVP or some Gold Gloves he hasn't won, but he's just been lights out. This already says like he's a Hall of Famer pretty much. Well, at least the jaws and the gray ink. I don't really know how that shit works, but the kid's a stud. He's unbelievable. If we scroll, Curry Almonte is a big reason why the Pirates are in contention. We mentioned that. He's been insane. What else over here? Joe Rashke, who's from Montreal, leads the league in strikeouts. So there's that. Pitcher war goes to John Castro, though, for the Padres. He's been excellent. They got him from New York in the Cole Sands trade, or a Cole Sands trade way back in 2029. So you have that. He might be a guy we look to trade for, maybe. Padres are 45 and 54. How good is John Castro? Well, they do have him extended, so probably not. So ignore what I just said. And then in the National League, though, let's move over. The Great Lakes Division, once again, the Brewers are top of it. Who is surprised? No one is surprised. The Tigers have just completely fallen apart after winning their World Series. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They are thickly out of the race, as is a good majority of the former AL Central teams. If the AL Central still existed, the Royals would be ahead with a 48-51 record, which as of right now sits them 4 games out of the last wild card spot. This is why we did this. And then, but in the Great Lakes, the Reds are here, the Blue Jays are here. Not very competitive, but it is 3 teams at the top. And then our Southern Division has been very competitive. In fact, we lead, obviously. The Marlins are still right here. The Rangers are here. The Cardinals are hovering around. The Braves and Astros and Royals all around 500. It's a thick race here in the National League. It'll be interesting to see how it looks down the stretch. Blake Kaporn is looking and fighting for the 400 mark. He's hitting 385 through 95 games. Wouldn't that be something? Kind of reminds me a little bit of Brett. What did I just say? George Brett. I don't know. I was like, Bret Hart? No. George Brett, in a way, very similar kind of player. Just a dog raking. Hurtado leads the league in homers over here. David Jensen and Brian Nelson round that up. 2 guys, 1 dotting. It's Kaporn and Lorenzo Garza. So Garza and John Gonzalez, we mentioned in the preseason, will be like the guys competing for the MVP. We get to see that battle take place, and it doesn't look like John Gonzalez is really in the race right now. He's still hitting 330, but his power is not there right now. So I know that he had a bad month, the first month of the year. I love how a 139 WRC plus for him is a bad month. But he's coming into his own down the stretch, so we'll see if he can go win his 6th straight MVP. which just sounds ridiculous when you say it like that. Unbelievable ball player. But right now, not in the MVP talk. Victor Rodriguez is here because he plays elite defense. He gets on base. He's hitting. I don't know. There's a lot going on. And then Takumi Umedo just kind of dominates a lot of these categories. Him and Pena are battling for the strikeout throne, though, so hopefully Umeda can go and win that and continue his great season. But that's what it's looking like here at the All-Star break. We should probably take a look at the All-Stars real quick, and then we will hop into the draft. I know this video, at least for me, feels like a long one. We'll see what I can edit it down to. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. We're in the National League now, so we got to scroll down a little bit. Let's take a look. Takumi Umeda makes it. Aaron Sheet makes it. Andres Munoz, who we just traded for, makes it. Mike Plummer, Malachi Washington, Roberto Montoya. Yeah, that's a good lot. That's a good mixture of guys. So that's what we like to see. Let's advance today, and let's hop in to the first-year player draft. All right, ready to roll here in the 2036 first-year player draft. Phillies on the clock. They have the first overall selection. And they go Albert Perez. I was taking a look at this guy pre-draft. Just a stud out of Newark, or at least went to school in Newark. Shout out to the Sopranos. Just a freak. This kid's insane. He's going to be a stud for a long, long time in this league. Not much else to say. A lot of guys wearing green shirts and green ties. White Sox, pick number 2, go Gary Thompson. Another guy out of Newark. So what the hell are they brewing over there? One of these 3-pitch guys, big old Sally here, Gary Thompson, the second overall pick in the draft. And then Raleigh Oaks gets pick number 3, their first selection. What are we doing? Who passed on this guy? 2 teams passed on David Jones, Pudge. I know that's Ivan Rodriguez's nickname, but holy shit. This guy's insane. 60 I already of a potential 85, 45 power of an 80 potential already. I know it's not the personality class, but David Jones, let's keep an eye on him because he's going to be a dog. Great pick for Raleigh. Cleveland at 4 go a catcher and Chris Baker, high power, high eye. Seems like a good pick. Angels at 5 go Zane Mills, who looks to be a freak of a first baseman. I feel like so many people are from like O'Fallon, Illinois, like places like that. Elite personality class, elite eye potential. His BABIP might get up to 90, contact up to 85. Would be insane to see that guy develop. I want to get to Montreal's pick, and then we'll get to ours. John Johansson, a $13 million player, sweet music. Good catcher, wants to go to school, wants to go to UNC Greensboro. But let's get through Montreal's pick, and then we'll get to us. Tom Landon is their first ever pick. They went on the cheaper side, but a really good pitcher. 5-pitch mix. He looks to be really solid. I like that pick for them. The Texas Wonder, Tom Landon, from Texas, went to UT. That goes hard. I don't know whose nickname this is or the game actually generated it for him since he's from Texas and went to UT. But he must have been just a legend for the Longhorns. But let's get to our Tampa Bay Rays. And let's take a look at some of the best players here. We do have 2 guys who we have on our list. Any starters? We also have a starter here in Ryan Wall. So we have options. It should be noted that we also pick in the supplemental round. So there's 5 picks in between our next 2 selections. So hopefully if we play our cards right, we'll get 2 of these guys. So let's take a look. First of all, Elvis Jewell, high work ethic, 1 slot. Not the best defender. High gap power, high power, elite speed. Intriguing for sure for Elvis Jewell. I do like him from Cary, North Carolina. That's intriguing. Luis Rincon is a guy I have here who I also fancy quite a bit, from Oakdale, Minnesota. When I played travel baseball, they whooped our ass when I was in my like 10s. Literally when I was 10 years old, they just destroyed us. And then they like merged. I don't know. You guys don't care. He's also very intriguing. I really like Luis Rincon. I love the glove. If he can develop this bat a little bit, but the BABIP is quite low, that worries me. But he looks really solid. And then the starter we have here in Ryan Wall that I marked is also very solid. 4-pitch guy. It feels like we haven't taken a starter in a while. He's a lefty, which is exciting. But it's not like a stud starter. It's not like it's someone who could be insane. Brandon Gordon is kind of interesting. 3-pitch guy, though. Fastball looks to be elite. High work ethic. I don't know if he projects to be a starter. But again, these 3-pitch pitchers I might need to just take a gamble on at some point. This guy looks to be really good, even though he has the worst fastball in the world. He was excellent in the DL, but that was as a reliever, which kind of tells me all I need to know. We got to go with either Jewell or Rincon. I feel like a lot of the times I've been taking players like Elvis Jewell, and it hasn't been working out. So I'm going to go Luis Rincon. I'm going to trust the defense, trust that we have maybe a future shortstop on our hands here in Luis Rincon, and we will take him here. There we go. Luis Rincon, first selection. We make that move. Let's go Brewers here. Go Mole, that Brandon Gordon pitcher. First baseman gets taken. Cleveland goes another first baseman. Reds go Elvis Jewell, so he won't be an option. And then Robert Walls, a shortstop here, goes right in front of us. He would have been intriguing, but 25I, not the biggest fan of that. There is one more 50 grade potential bat here, very similar to that shortstop we just looked at. Elite eye, elite power, no defense, going to strike out a million times. Not too intrigued by that. There's some bats here. Rory Drake, 70 power, but terrible eye. He's an impossible signee. A lot of these guys are like the same thing, different font. Jonathan Knox is quite intriguing, but we did just take a shortstop. I'll add him to keep an eye on. Maybe he'll hang around, but I think then it makes a ton of sense to go, well, this is intriguing. If this guy had good defense, I would definitely think about Jeff Perkins. I think it makes a ton of sense to go with the pitcher who made it here. I think Ryan Wall is available. I think we should just do that. Travis Samano's intriguing, but just not really to me. Ryan Wall really does seem like the future starter potential guy. He is low leader, but I don't know. 23. So he's not that far away. I'm going to do it. We'll go Ryan Wall with our supplemental pick. He will be brought in, and he will be selected in the supplemental round. So the first 2 picks, Rincon to Wall. Do the John. Do the Ryan Wall. Get to the second round here. See what's available. Let's look at the bats. Jonathan Knox is still here. Whoa. I'm taking him. I'm not even going to think about it. Didn't think he'd be here. $6 million for this guy. I'm not doing that. Dan Sky, somewhat intriguing, but again, 22. I'd rather take this 22-year-old from Santa Barbara, California. So that goes hard. I'm taking Jonathan Knox. This draft has worked out really, really nice for us. This is good. I'm happy with the way that has orchestrated itself. Let's get back to our pick. I'll do 2 more, and then I'll wrap things up on my own. Nolan Towery still here, but if he just wants $6 million, I'm not giving you $6 million, dude. Rory Drake, no. We were able to get so many good relievers in the draft. It feels like that's kind of no more. Although Mark Baxter here is quite intriguing. Ground ball pitcher, elite home runs allowed, and movement. I don't know that I'll take him here, but let's keep an eye on him. Maybe he will be available. Let's go to starting pitchers, see what's available here. Bobby Adams from Fort Wayne, Indiana. No, I don't like Marco Aguirre. This guy's a herniated disc. But low-key, I kind of like Chris Aragon. Kind of gives me Chris Bassett vibes. Good movement, good home runs allowed. High work ethic guy, 21 years old. Might be just not making it because he has that herniated disc. 6 pitches. I'm going to go Chris Aragon. I know he's hurt. I know it's like, what are we doing with that? But we're doing it. Chris Aragon, we will take in the 4th round, and then we'll go one more. I'm going to see if that reliever is still available. He is. So we could go Baxter here. Let's look at the starters again because there's a ton of 40 potential guys. Hector Bonilla, 3 pitches, but high work ethic from Wake Forest. I'm not in love with that. Randy Best, I don't really like either, from Lansing, Michigan. Marcos Aguirre, still here. Bobby Adams, still here. A few more high work ethic guys. I don't dislike Glenn Cook here from Jamestown, New York. High work ethic, 5 pitch mix. Home runs allowed is at 40, though. has me concerned. Ryan Connell, 3 elite pitches, but like 20 control. I don't want to do that. Bryce Chirico, don't like him. Dave Bryan, nope. Justin Brubaker, he's got a pitcher's name for sure, but no. So it would either be, what was the guy I mentioned earlier? Bonilla. So I didn't dislike Randy Best either. I think I'm going to just go with the reliever. I think it makes more sense to just go with Baxter. Let's take a look at the bats real quick, though, before I jump into that. Dan Baker's intriguing. Good defender, high work ethic out of Thousand Oaks, California. Went to the University of San Diego. That's intriguing. I like the idea of Dan Baker. John Blakely looks intriguing as well, an outfielder from New Hampshire. I don't like his bat at all, though. This is tough. Troy Brenlinger, good defensive infielder once again. I actually do think I'm going to go Dan Baker. I think I'm going to call an audible here, go with the shortstop, 19 years old, has a lot of time to develop. Yeah, we'll do that, and then let's hope the relievers here real quick. Oh, he's gone. I've messed it up. I messed it all up. All right, well, we'll keep things rolling here. I will give you guys an update of where we end up, and then I'll get out of your hair for today. All right, we have wrapped up the draft, so I'll take you guys through quickly the rest of the things we did. I think you guys saw we took Aragon, and then I showed Dan Baker, didn't I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed Dan Baker. Yeah, and then I wanted to get the reliever, and then he wasn't there. And then we took a different reliever in Eric Barchette, who throws hard, good cutter, curveball, high movement, home runs allowed. I honestly think this guy could very well be a major leaguer at some point, so I'm happy with that. And then, again, these classes fall off, so we just kind of take high schoolers who might develop. Andy Klobes being one of them, 50 power potential. We took Jeremy Colgrove, good infielder, high work ethic, good speed. A lot of these guys are shortstops. I'll just be completely honest with you guys. Here's Nick Beam, another shortstop, high work ethic, high speed, decent glove. And then we took John Adams. He's reincarnated, high work ethic, 60 frame, catcher, 17. And then we took in the 11th round, or is this 11th? Yeah, 11th round, Bill Young, who's a reliever with a elite grade fastball slider and he's sidearm, or not a reliever. Well, 65 stamina, but probably projects to be a reliever. He was intriguing enough that we took a flyer on him. And then we took Jeff Carlson, another pitcher, 4-pitch guy. Decent home runs allowed, decent control, really good stamina and hold runners, if you care about that. So we went with him, took a flyer on that. Then we went Brad Simpson. He was just like there for a while, long enough to where I was like, all right, I'll take him. 3-pitch guy, someone. Where else? Where was I? Who was that? Oh, Simpson. Okay. And then we took Nick Moody, good home runs allowed. He's the first college guy we took in forever. 60 home runs allowed, 55 potential movement, so we took the flyer on that. And then in the 15th round, we went Paul Dockery, good range, high work ethic, center fielder. And then we went Travis Lyons, high leader adaptability, 60 infield range. Then we took Bert McGinnis, high work ethic, adaptability, good defense, can play kind of everywhere. And then we took in the 18th round Ricky Felix, who does want $400K or something. He was there long enough that we just took the flyer on and we'll offer him slot if he doesn't sign. It's the 18th round. 65 speed, decent infield range. Took a flyer on it. And then in the 19th round, we took Joe Swingley, good outfield range, high work ethic and leader, durable, good eye. See what he can become. And then in the final round, we took J.P. Trentini, mostly because of his name. 5-pitch guy, lefty, side armor. Sure. But yeah, that was the draft. That's been the first half of the year. Our Tampa Bay Rays look to be unbelievable. Can this finally be the year we go claim ring number 2? Find out how we end the season next episode and next video. And we have a lot of trades hopefully in store to really capitalize this championship window. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, go Rays.